Oh, you're terrible.
To be honest, J.P. Morgan. You know who that is? It's not a banker.
That's the only time I ever knew her was from the Gong Show. Did she do anything else?
That's all you need. And I refrained from saying her introduced name was Juicy J.C. Morgan, but
didn't she lift her shirt up one time? But they cut it
every time.
Every time,
right up here. She stopped there. Between her and Charles Nelson Riley for the hottest.
God, he was funny on Match Game.
It was the same show, wasn't it?
No, Gong Show and Match Game.
She was Gong Show, and she wasn't a Fanny Flagg. I'll just give you my whatever we call that guilty pleasure from the
Match Game.
Richard Dawson giving oral exams to everybody that picked him, and there was Britt Summers. No thanks. But there would be Fanny Flagg, and there was rarely a really hot chick on that show, except for the guests. They would bring hot guests on.
I can't think of his name now. Sorry.
His name? I'll tell you all of them.
But he sat in the number one chair, not Soupy Sales.
Sure. Soupy was on that show before.
He was. But the one I'm thinking of is...
That chair rotated. The only sure chairs were the middle ones, and Britt Summers and Richard Dawson. Say Soupy Sales
I
already?
did say Soupy already.
Gary Berghoff was there once in a while.
Oh, I didn't care for him.
Oh, like Gary Muledeer? Nice name. So specific. You think his last name? You think that was his real name? It's gotta be. Why would you make up Muledeer? Sounds kind of Native American though, doesn't it? Wasn't there not a Native American comedian or a team where was it the Indian and the white guy? That's a thing.
You mean the Lone Ranger?
No, that's not comedy. No, I'll get back to you next. Errors and omissions, but it's called like something in Reeves, and they play. They're not that. Within the last 10 years, they were gigging. Williams and Ree. Bruce Williams and Terry Ree alternately billed as both Williams and Ree, and the Indian and the white guy were a pair of American comedians. From the late 60s until 2024, they performed throughout the United States.
Oh, Nipsey Russell was who I was thinking of.
Oh, Nipsey would be in Charles Nelson Riley's chair a lot.
He alternated between the first and third.
Nipsey Russell was funny. He always had a poem.
Wasn't he a singer also, or just a comedian?
I feel he's got entertainer written all over him, but. That gig, his thing was he was like kind of a Muhammad Ali that couldn't punch. He always had some kind of poem he would always lead out with, and he would always speak in kind of poetry, and funny poetry. Welcome to TheAscertainers. Here you are. You're in the right room. We are here to entertain you. And I'm Jim, and I'm Mark's friend. I look at Mark for approval. I'm Mark's friend. I got one of those. Anyway, and Mark came up with this idea about 3 years ago, probably, and then we started doing it a little over 2 years ago. It's a stupid podcast we do in my basement. We're in Minneapolis. Well, we're in the suburbs of Minneapolis. I can't give the exact location because of, security and stuff. But this is what we do. We spend about, I don't know, as long as we need to, usually about 40 minutes, just uttering gibberish at you. And you either like it or you don't. So, there. I don't think that's the one we're going to stick with. Mark, say something.
I'm Mark, and I'm Jim's acquaintance. We do the podcast together.
Noted.
To get back to, we were talking about entertainers, and Jim sent me a video of Tom Jones this week.
Oh my God, was that so good?
It was so good. My goodness.
Tom Jones is got a band behind him. I think I should be able to post the link, even though
you should be able to
figure out it's not very technical, Mark. I'm not a very technical guy. I'm not a strong swimmer, but So, do you want to?
He was singing a song, kissing the girls and the women.
So he's got a band behind him. It's just Tom Jones on this like 20 by 20 stage, and it's like a square situation where there's like, but it's all women. They're screaming their asses off, and he's just one of them. He straight out makes out with for a sec. And by the way, Welsh. There, I finally got it right. I always say Neil Diamond's Welsh, but it's Tom Jones that is Welsh.
But he's singing the song, and then in the middle, he breaks into dance. He is a wonderful dancer. My goodness.
Are you shitting me?
You didn't like his dancing?
I love his dancing, but I wouldn't say that he's good at it. I would just say that it's very authentic, and it's very much with the. That's not choreography, and it's both entertaining and hard to watch at the same time.
Oh, I disagree.
Okay.
Compared to someone like me.
Well, you'd know. That took forever to get. Anyhow.
Your laugh?
I'm drinking bourbon. I'm drinking bourbon tonight, so I can't be held responsible for my actions. Also, my brother Jeff, who is a listener of the podcast and also has been a numerous times guest, that Elijah Craig that you brought down a couple times ago, it got cracked tonight, so I owe you.
I hope that's a bourbon.
Did I say like the guy that was in... Elijah?
Like the actor?
Yeah, isn't there a guy that was in like the Lord of the Rings? Was there Elijah something? It wasn't Elijah Craig, was it?
No.
It was that or Angel's Envy. And this is more of a pure bourbon. The other one is in like sherry. It's in the barrels are like more of a sherry barrel. I went to Kentucky for 3 days, Mark. I'm an expert in bourbon now. So everyone's an expert. You either know nothing about bourbon or you're a fucking expert. There's no in between.
I had a friend, he's from Kentucky. We were in the Air Force together. He was a Kentucky colonel. I don't know if that's like the not stone cutters, the Masons.
No, the stonemasons?
Yeah. But he got a free bottle of Maker's Mark once a year.
Well, how about that? I got educated on bourbon in Kentucky, and I hated bourbon because I was taught by my buddy Ange, I was conditioned by my buddy Ange that I don't drink whiskey right. I drink everything like it's Tang or Coors Light. Just go, like as fast as I can. And I think I figured out bourbon.
Oh,
you
good.
don't drink it as much as you put it up to your lips and then close your top lip around a few droplets of it, and then you just pull the glass away, and there's your drink. It's like a bird, like a gerbil would eat. Oh, fuck, man, I should get one of those things. Like just a little, the thing that a gerbil does? You ever had a gerbil? You've had a fucking gerbil. You had a rabbit.
I'm not going to get into this conversation because you shave yours, and I don't know what's going on.
I pulled the nails off just in case it gets up there. I mean, it hardly ever happens. But anyway, what I'm saying is that there's this, it's like an inverted bottle. It has a little, like fucking metal spout, and then there's a ball. Oh, God, this is going to end well.
I'm just going to let you dig the hole deeper.
Pause the thing and look up hamster feeder or something like that. It's not a name. It's a thing.
Their water bottle.
Is that what you call it? Holy shit. It was so much easier. Why didn't I say that? Anyway, but if I had that full of bourbon and I just kind of, every once in a while, I just turn my head, that would be the right amount of whiskey to get.
On the mic.
I don't think we can return these after I do that.
I like the little hand gesture of you tickle.
I bet you did. Yeah. Don't kid yourself. It's more like this. So the moonshot has been, I think we could just walk away from this project right now and call it a win because the Empress of the universe, Sarah, was bartending tonight, and she begrudgingly entered in the order for Mark to get his normal burger, Beyond Burger patty, smashed, and it came out without incident. It was not like, oh, okay, now we need this, and now we need that, and just came out, and Mark ate it, and tell us about it, Mark. Was it worth it?
It was very nice. I mean, when you smash a Beyond Burger, It seems to taste even more like a regular burger.
Or burgery.
Burgery. Yes.
There we go.
Trademark.
Exactly. Let's start jumping on this stuff. It's just awesome that in 3 short sessions, we went from, can you do it? And begging them to do it, and they did it. And then, can you do it? And oh, by the way, can you put it on a burger? After a few like trips back and forth to the kitchen, to, hey, so I asked Sarah if she wants to be a legend. Oh, I think she listens too. Sarah, do you want, you can choose to not be a legend. It's so much easier to not be a legend. But if you wanted to be a legend, it's not that hard. If you just kind of write down the steps that anybody keying it in would key in to get that. And the next improvement is going to be to get you a brioche bun on that guy. Because sometimes the Kaiser Benz aren't as, I like the softer bun. That's just me. It's not a knock on the Newts as a franchise, but.
Any kind of smash burger, regular beef or beyond patties, it's going to be messy just because there's a lot of overhang.
That's true. Well, I think we've probably spent enough airtime tonight on that damn smash burger because it's worthy of mention, but I think there's still a few tweaks left up our sleeve.
For that one other person that's going to order it.
Corey did pour water on our dreams that a bunch of fucking vegans would come in and order waters and bitch about the food. He goes, oh, all 4 of them? You think there's 4? Wow. We have to get more meat or not meat. All right, well, anyway, Newt's also has food for regular people like me, even though I got a salad tonight.
You did.
But they got a salad. It's good for people to know. Let's say...
What'd you have on your Caesar salad?
Well, I had a Caesar salad with grilled chicken, and I said, can I get a side of buffalo? And Sarah, like the angel that she is, said, you know what? You want that, like, tossed in buffalo? And I said, yes, I do. I basically got a buffalo chicken Caesar salad.
How was it?
I ate it all. Every bite. It's delish.
Nice.
It's good. As you know, I'm trying to lose a few. Kind of like John Candy and Stripes over here. And I was fulfilled. It was good. A little popcorn. Want to pull tabs? Good night.
Very good.
Good night. So go to Newt's if you haven't been to South Metro, Twin Cities, Apple Valley specifically. If you go there and you want to tell them the Ascertainers sent you, I think a few people might know what the fuck that means. You'll pay full price. Don't worry. You're not going to get a deal. But you're going to get fresh popcorn, ice cold beer, hot juicy burger, and if you choose to play pull tabs, you might win some burger money.
Man, that was almost written by AI.
So go to Newt's. Yeah, almost. AI. That's not what you think the AI stands for. So here we are. Now we're in Arizona Missions.
Good Vibrations was actually started with pet sounds. We were talking about the Beach Boys last.
Yes. I didn't research any of that, but it sounded like there should have been more hits on pet sounds.
It took 7 months to do Good Vibrations. So Pet Sounds came out, and then 4 months later, Good Vibrations came out as a single.
You don't say. So it was not on? It was not on
Pet Sounds. It was on Smile, but I think it was released originally as a single.
Wow.
Because it took 7 months to complete.
That's not efficient.
Goes back to him being a perfectionist, OCD. The female bass player, they wanted to induct her into the Hall of Fame. And she said no, because everyone associates me with the Wrecking Crew, and I wasn't part of a band.
Oh, Carol.
I can't remember. Name.
She was to be inducted as a Beach Boy? Wow.
Or with the Wrecking Crew?
Carol Kane was her name. And if you ever get a chance to watch a documentary called The Wrecking Crew, she's the balls. She goes, here's what Sonny and Cher brought me. And she plays the bass line. And she goes, I just boosted it up a little bit. And she's just so casual with it, but also so confident. She goes, I just put a little walk into that. She was an absolute trendsetter. She was a single woman in that she was the kind of only woman and was known for her music, which, I mean, it's pretty cool. Maybe we bone up on that a little bit, phrasing. And I have nothing but great things to say about Carol Kane, and I bet the more I learn about her, the more impressed I'd be. But yeah, cool.
It was just an article I read today in the USA Today about that.
Hope I got her name right. I have a error.
Go ahead.
So it involves Brian Wilson, and it's the movie Love and Mercy. And I said that Paul Dano played Brian Wilson, not John Cusack, but in actuality, there were two eras of Brian Wilson.
Old and
Paul
young.
Dano played the young one, and it was John Cusack that played the older.
God, I don't remember that.
Contending with his senses, Brian Wilson. So I was wrong by thinking I was wrong.
Wow,
You love when I do that, Mark. Also, going back a couple episodes when we were talking about your, I don't know how do we call this? You were blessed with a lot of leg hair and no top hair or whatever. That's called a centaur. You're a centaur. The half horse, half
right.
man. And all I can think of is, I think it's Step Brothers at the end. There's like a dream sequence where John C. Reilly is a centaur. It's fucking great. I'll find it. Look in the notes.
I'm more of the warrior one. I'm not playing the pan flute.
You could.
Could I do both?
I think it's not the pan. Isn't the lute? No, it is a.
I believe it's a
Wasn't
pan
that guy
flute.
also called Pan sometimes?
That's Peter Pan.
Is it? I'm sorry. Is it Pam? That popped up again today. I think I can help you out with the whole Pam thing.
It's Pan, right? Pam.
Get out of my office. All right. A new feature, whatever. We just need to have something that people can rely on. And we you all right?
Don't listen to us if you're relying on anything.
Well, if you're going to rely on anything in this podcast, usually you rely on it being not very good. And we'd like to keep it that way and maybe get a little better, just incrementally. So we're going to try something out for this week. It's called Song of the Week. And Mark and I are each going to talk about a song that we want you to know about. And then we'll post that song I keep pointing down like anyone can see me. If you are listening to this podcast, there's like a thing that gives like the description of the podcast, and you scroll down on that, you'll see links, and it'll be a link to some of the shit we talked about, including these two songs. And I'd love Mark to go first on his song, and I don't think you ever told me who sang it.
I did not. We played it before we started recording. I was playing the Eagles' Tryin, Tryin,
That was the Eagles.
off their eponymous album.
Mine's eponymous too.
It was written by Randy Meisner.
Yes.
He quit the band, he says, due to exhaustion, but I think he was so done with arguing with...
Sick of the Beatles, or sick of the rest of the Eagles. That's exhaustion.
Mostly Glenn Fry.
Really?
Because he wrote Tryin and he wrote Take It to the Limit, which he sang, but as he started getting older, he couldn't hit the high notes, so he refused to sing it. They would do encores, and he refused to sing it when they went out to do the encores. And him and Fry got into it.
Tryin was one of the encores?
Take It to the Limit.
Oh,
He wrote that also.
Okay. Yeah, he was very talented singer-songwriter. There is a local kind of, what do you call it, unprovable reference. There's a local band called the Teddy Bear Band.
Haven't heard
It's
of it.
literally like the thing you get for a kid's party, but they're pretty good musicians. And apparently one of those musicians auditioned for the Eagles, got offered it, and Randy Meisner took it. I'll have to look that up. That could be next week's Errors and Omissions, and I hope we don't get sued.
Fun fact, Randy was in Poco,
That I knew.
and he was replaced by Timothy B. Schmidt.
Okay, I didn't know Randy Meisner was. I knew there was an eagle in Poco.
And when Randy Meisner quit the Eagles, he was replaced by Timothy B. Schmidt.
Who wrote?
I Took Randy Meisner's Job Twice. The famous
I
song.
thought you were going to say it. He wrote I Can't Tell You Why. Which is a great makeout song back in the early 80s, late 70s, even though I wasn't making out until the early 80s.
Randy Meisner
then it
was
was
like
only a couple of
the
times.
quarterback Steve DeBerg. Great quarterback, but he always got replaced with someone better. Not that Schmidt was better than Meisner.
Steve DeBerg? You thinking Chris DeBerg? Lady in Red? Kids, we're in a level right now we've never been in, man. We're stuck We're stuck in a part of the universe that nobody cares, no one goes to.
Steve DeBerg was a quarterback
For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes, and San Francisco, and a third team where he was the starter, and then he got replaced by a famous quarterback.
Got paid though, didn't he? Didn't Steve Young? Is it true that Steve Young, when he got drafted, he got a job? I think he started with the Niners, right? Was that his first team? And he wasn't cashing his checks because he wasn't playing. Like he felt like he couldn't. It wasn't right for him to cash his game checks because he was just sitting on the sidelines. That's a legend too. I have so many. I think I'm just spewing so much bullshit right now.
He did pass the bar, became a lawyer.
Oh, like
Don't say it.
I know you never passed a bar, so. No, what's the guy's name on Catch Me If You Can?
Oh,
great story, by the way. And I heard him speak. Frank Abagnale, that's his name. Anyway, this isn't part of the thing. This isn't part of it. So your song is called Tryin by the Eagles. And what I admire is that I told Mark about this earlier in the week, and my concern was, well, I told him, I go, I'm not going to pick like Tom Sawyer, okay? I'm going to pick something that's a little less, predictable for either of us, even though mine's pretty dang predictable. But I can tell you why. I heard it this week. I picked Gator Country by Molly Hatchet. And what's cool about Gator Country is that they named 6 bands in that song. I thought it was way more, by the way.
I did too. We were on the golf course, and I said we should do bands from Florida. And that's where I got my idea from, was from Gator Country.
Now, speaking of Randy Meisner, did he not teach Tom Petty the guitar?
No, piano.
Piano. Okay. There's some kind of Jacksonville reference in there.
Meisner said he taught him guitar, and Tom Petty said, no, he taught me piano.
Your Southern rock leader, the Ascertainers. Here we are. So in verse 1, he mentions Leonard Skinner and Charlie Daniels. In verse 2, he mentions Richard Betts, which, of course, we know is Richard Speck, the serial killer. No, wait. No. Hold on. Wrong episode. That'd be Dickie Betts from the Allman Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Just making sure. Alvin Bishop, who got brought up last episode or 2 ago.
Yes. Fooled around and fell in love.
Yes. And then the sung by Mickey Thomas, not Alvin Bishop.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, we talked about it in a previous episode.
I don't listen to us?
You don't listen to the episodes. No. That's awesome. And then Marshall Tucker and the Outlaws. And Molly Hatchet, believe it or not, put 6 albums out between 1978 and 1984. So they did an album per year. Yeah. And as of 2020, all of the original members of Molly Hatchet are dead.
They weren't the healthiest people around.
Yes, their singer, Danny Joe Brown, who apparently replaced a guy, but that's when they started selling records. He left in 80. Yeah, so only a couple albums in, he left because he had a little problem with they call it the diabetes. He didn't have a good lifestyle, so that's not good. Gator Country is from their eponymous Molly Hatchet, which is easily one of the coolest album covers a guy will ever see.
Yes, it's the knight on the horse.
Yeah, with a tiny head. Just sinister looking shit, dude. That's no regular horse either. Might be a girl horse too, I'm just saying. I would think a horse of that stature would be dragging a hoof. They'd have to put a shoe on that too. It'd be sparking on the ground.
I think I brought this up on a previous episode, but I saw Molly Hatchet in a small venue, and they had the wall of speakers, and I'm up front, right in front of the speakers.
Is that the one where you couldn't hear for like a month?
Yes.
Was it, what year?
80.
Was it the
83
original?
or 84?
Was it the original guy, or was it a different guy?
It was the original guy.
Okay. Well, there you go. And that is Song of the Week. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Next on any weekly developments, Mark. And by weekly, I mean week, WEEKLELOY. This might be the bourbon talking. By the way, when I drink bourbon, can I tell you what happens? It makes me think of winter. It makes me, because in the wintertime in Minnesota, in high school, it was easier to conceal a bottle of bourbon than it was a case of beer. And if the case of beer froze, then you were out of luck. So we drank a lot of Jack Daniels and Jim Beam and that sort of stuff.
I think we drank a lot more peppermint schnapps because the girls in high school tended to like that more.
Ooh, if you kiss a girl after she had some schnapps, that's a pretty fresh breath.
Yeah.
If she had too much schnapps, then you're going to taste what she had for dinner.
Girl, guy, they both had good
Oh my
breath.
God, okay there, fucking meatloaf. Oh, there it is. Okay, we had to throw one in there. Look how much, so see, remember how tall this was before? It's actually, I think, gotten more because
the ice is melted.
Yes,
Yeah.
so anyway, I'm not like hammering bourbon, Mom, but it's good. It's a thing. I get too full on beer since I'm on, my weight loss kick. I've lost some weight.
You have.
I hit a milestone number. I told you about it. We don't need to tell you. You little nosy Nate. So I had no real relevant, anything real exciting happen this week that I can recall other than Chris's work schedule got messed up, and I thought it was a day later in the week from Monday on. So on Tuesday, I thought it was Wednesday. On Wednesday, I thought it was Thursday, and you didn't hear the rest. Oh, my gout got better.
Nothing happened this week.
That cleared up?
Yeah. Put the powder on it. It's fine.
Cobalt powder?
Is that what is that powder for? If you got the crabs, did you put?
Powder? No, I don't know what you get for the crabs.
Oh,
Old Bay seasoning. Oh, you mean like? Oh, shit, dude. I don't know.
I don't either.
I've never been afflicted.
I don't know either.
I've never been afflicted. I just kind of got him to get along, and we all know what we're here for. Just you don't bite me, I don't. David Spade. I got to deal with sharks. You don't bite me, I don't bite you. Hey. Any other developments this week?
No.
Otherwise, I have a compelling thing to talk about that I thought would be interesting.
Ooh, compelling.
To the listeners.
Compelling.
Well, I thought it was interesting. We've teased the Tom Petty thing forever. Tom Petty documentary called Running on a Dream. If you got 4 hours, it's a good way to spend 4 hours. But this week I saw a Dwight Yoakam video, and that got me into a little bit of a Dwight Yoakam like tangent, a little rabbit hole. Is that what you call that? Oh boy, I forgot who I was talking to. Anyway,
I do.
Yeah, I know you do. I know that's why you can't have rabbits anymore. But anyway, so Dwight Yoakam, I've never been like a big Dwight Yoakam guy, but what I noticed is that he has he's like an old school country guy. I would say he's like he has the country good looks of a Tom Petty, meaning he's not a head turner that way. He's like a head turner the other way, or maybe, but he's got like a thing. And Tom Petty the same way. Tom Petty, most would say not the best looking guy you're going to see, but that guy had so much fucking swagger that you couldn't resist him. Like if you look at the Refugee video, or if you look, I'm talking Tom Petty now, any of his like older videos, he just is so confident. And Dwight Yoakam has this thing where he's like doing his little song, and then he gets into these really intricate dances. It's almost like anti-old school country, but he gets away with it. And I admire the shit out of that.
He holds the guitar up high. He's got the pointy toe boots on.
And just skin-tight jeans.
And he does the shuffling of his feet.
Yes. He does the little hips and knees. And
I actually enjoy.
Okay, yeah, he's an entertainer. Yes, good.
I brought up before that we watched him in a lot of movies. Sling Blade.
Yes.
He's very good at that.
Wedding Crashers, one of my favorites, when he's having this is a line that I actually attributed to a different person in Wedding Crashers, but at the beginning scene of Wedding Crashers, Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson are the lawyers, and it's Dwight Yoakam in a custody battle with Rebecca De Mornay, a.k.a. The chick from Risky Business. I said Top Gun.
Same thing.
That would work. Anyway, interchangeable. But they're doing the thing, and it's like, I feel like I know that guy. And then it's like, I know her. And and they finally get down where he says something, she says something, she goes, "You shut your mouth when you're talking to me." I think that's one of the best lines. Also a line in a Fiji song, but I think I talked too much about my lineage, his musical thing, so I'm not going to go into that. But
Dwight Yoakam plays a great bad guy. He just got that evil persona, if you call it that.
Good for him. Because apparently when he was a kid, he would walk around telling like people, like a kid, like before he even knew any. He goes, "I want to be a big star."
Oh, yeah.
So, there you go.
Well, he's not a big star.
Is he a bigger star than the Ascertainers?
No.
Dwight Yoakam, if you hear this, we'd love to have you on as a guest. Billy Bob Thornton's ringing our phone off the hook, so better call quick. TheAscertainers@gmail.com. Feel free. Enjoy.
Jim brought up this idea to me about the Tom Petty, Dwight Yoakam.
On the way to Newt's, because Mark doesn't like to rehearse.
No. And I said, Lyle Lovett could be thrown into that. I like a lot of Lyle Lovett's music.
Lyle Lovett is what?
An entertainer.
Yes, he is.
He can cover just about any song and make it his own.
Were you surprised when Julia Roberts married Lyle Lovett?
No.
I was, because I don't think either of them are that hot. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't see that coming. Not that I was a Lyle Lovett guy. That's probably how I got to know who the fuck is Lyle Lovett anyway. Then I looked at him and like, ooh, looks like a drawing. He doesn't look like a person. His mouth ain't right. His mouth is too wide. He looks like one of the South Park guys from Canada, kind of, doesn't he?
Well, it's like Goldie Hawn's daughter and Chris Robinson.
There you go. He's got that thing. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Is what do you call that? Do you call that the it? You call that the swag? What do you call that ability to pull chicks way hotter than you?
The mark.
I call it the gym myself because I did quite well.
I thought it was.
Did you just call it the mark?
I did.
Oh, fucking.
I beat you to the punch.
Ascertainer. Oh, my Mark's doing his. My Mark doing that thing again.
Lyle Lovett is. I don't know how to classify him in music. He started off like a country guy, but he's not.
I think he still probably would be identified as country.
But he does rock,
or
folk rock.
Yeah, so country or folk. But I don't think that you need to put him anywhere else. You can be country and then like Dolly. Look at Dolly Parton. She's kind of spanned the.
You're gonna look at Dolly Parton. What are you gonna look at?
I can't even. I see your mouth moving. I don't even know what the fuck you're saying. I just thought about Dolly Parton there now. My pulse is going pretty high.
Sorry, her husband just died within the last month.
What? Within what? The last month?
Yeah.
Is that what she's calling?
She is twice your age.
Some say she's not 120.
Pretty close.
Some say I don't want to be a guy that tells stories out of class. There, I'm trying to channel my Norm Macdonald. Some say that marriage of hers and what's his name was a little bit of a sham tax purposes. But yeah, she was.
Oh, I didn't hear this.
They were rarely seen in public, and apparently there's Dolly's seen in public with a female handler. If that's the case, by the way, bravo. But anyway, in fact, I'm going to need a minute to process that, and I passed out. But no, I'll say this: Dolly Parton. If there were more people in the world like Dolly Parton, regardless of what they look like, the world would be a much better place. Do you agree? Do you?
I do.
She's the opposite of Lyle Lovett, Dwight Yoakam, and Tom Petty. In that she's easy on the eyes, super talented, and also, would you call that benevolent? Which is what we're trying to do. She gives back.
Would you know more about her personally, knowing the names of the rides at Dolly World?
Have you been?
I haven't. Have you?
Seriously? I'm so fucking mad you asked if I've been to a theme park. I've not been. The last theme park I went to was Busch Gardens on my honeymoon. And yes, I did change my appearance at the Busch Gardens beer tap thing where you can go and get a free beer. I'm like, okay, great. Then I put a different shirt on because I bought one at the thing. And then I put sunglasses on. I went up, I got so much free beer until they're like, hey, you've had enough. So that's why I'm anti-theme park. I think the same thing would happen there. No, I don't like fairs. I don't like
Why do you always say no to things? Be more open.
I said yes to Elijah Craig. Just based on his rolling the second.
What is that guy? Elijah Wood? Elijah Woodja?
Yeah, Elijah Wood. Would. His agent wanted Elijah Could, but he said, I insist on my birth name of Elijah Wood.
Don't do that while I'm taking a sip of beer. Oh, my goodness. The Tom Petty documentary.
Yes. Still good. I mean, I feel like the reason I've not wanted to dedicate like an episode to
because it takes too long.
We would not ever be able to do it justice. But you know what? We could maybe just kind of spill a little bit here and there. Spill.
We can hype it up a little bit, and they can watch it and email us what they got out of it.
Okay, give me a thought about that movie, and I'll give you a thought about that movie, and then we'll stop for this episode on that particular topic. I can start if you want my thought about that movie.
My first comment that I wrote while watching the documentary was Tom Petty actually met Elvis Presley.
That's right, because his uncle or something was a producer or some sort. I had meets Elvis, and he goes, I was a changed man.
Yes.
But he was a little kid. And then he saw the Beatles, and he said, that's what I'm going to do. Like, he didn't think, maybe I want to be a fireman. He goes, I figured out what I was going to do. And they just figured out a way to do it.
If you watch most music documentaries, they'll always say that, though. Brian Wilson said
I guess, yeah. Well, I mean,
it was in Becoming Led Zeppelin.
Maybe it's at the age that they make that determination, because he was quite young, I believe. Like, he was maybe not even 10 when the Beatles came out. I guess we could do the math on that and everything. Because if a guy's like, yeah, I wrote a big hit song and people loved it. And then I said, you know what? I think this is what I'm going to do. I think he came to that conclusion far before he had any either abilities or resources to make that happen.
But again, people like, God, I can't think of his name now. From
Brian Wilson.
Led Zeppelin, the guitarist.
Mick Jagger. Geddy Lee.
Do you know who's
Keith
in Led
Moon.
Zeppelin? Because I don't.
Shirley Partridge. Danny Partridge?
Who is a guitarist? Just help me out here.
Jimmy Page?
Yes. He bought a guitar and he was playing with a guy in middle school or junior high.
Playing skiffle. That was a technique of guitar, they called it at the time.
He said, this is what I want to do.
I get it. I see what you're saying. Like, when I was a kid and I caught a fish, I said, this is what I want to do. But I didn't become a fisherman.
Anybody saying, if you made it in something, you said, wow, when I was a little kid, that's what I said.
It was density.
Is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers rock or alternative music to you?
Fucking rock and roll.
They classified in the documentary that they were alternative rock.
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
I remember the quote. They didn't want to be associated with rock and roll because rock and roll was taking itself too seriously. And he used the line, don't bore us, get to the chorus, which I thought was a really cool kind of songwriting technique. And if you think about it, at the time, some of the bands like Deep Purple and Yes and any of the prog rock shit, even Ted Nugent had long songs. And I do remember them saying that it was that rock was too full of itself, and we didn't want to be that. So, but I think they're a rock band.
Good.
I think they're the quintessential rock band. They and the Foo Fighters, I think, if you're like trying to calibrate what's a rock band, you look at those two bands. Maybe Nickelback. Throw a little Nickelback in there. Just as what do you call that in an experiment? You got the one thing you throw out. Fucking
the high and the low.
The diving scores. The Pakistani judge did not like that dive. I will say that I had a comment about fishing videos. I'm going to save that. A little teaser.
All right, bring us into the whatever you want to call it. Take us back in.
Oh, take us
to
back
the harbor.
To the shore? My name isn't Michael, but I'll row this boat ashore. Hallelujah. And then all the listeners are like, hallelujah, it's fucking over. I can go back. My court-ordered listening of the Ascertainers is over. But I will say that we appreciate listening. The reason we do this is so much for us, but if there's any outward reason that we do this, we want to like just give you a little smile and give you something to listen to, pass the time, take your mind off of whatever's got you down. And by the way, the stuff that's got you down, if you took your mind off it for a while, think about it. Sometimes it's if you take your mind off of the stuff that's really grinding on you, you realize, you know what? I don't have to worry about that much. It's not really a thing yet. And I've become a big believer, by the way, side note, that we spend more time worrying about things that might happen than things that actually do happen. There's plenty of time. Be prepared, but don't like spend so much energy worrying about shit that's a possibility, because you'll have plenty of time to worry about it when it becomes a reality. So good luck. Also, I kind of
well, if the zombies hit, be prepared for that, because that could happen anytime.
Yeah, but don't spend all your fucking days thinking about
man, when I'm going to survive the zombie attack, you're not.
I'm going to use you I'm going to pick you up by the ankles and swing you at the zombies. That's my strategy.
Oh, that'd be fun.
All right. Well, it's practice starts again tonight. I can't really lift you the whole way. So, oh, God, I hit this part. Oh.
Sorry, I interrupted your heartfelt
Yeah. Well,
exit from our...
This is what you're used to. This is on brand. We closed the last episode by saying something, and I thought it was kind of funny as I listened to it. But it was like when people say something is bad, everybody's very willing to like verify that it's bad. And I think of it like a carton of milk or sour cream or yogurt or something. It's like, ooh, I think this is bad. And the people are always very willing to come over and give it a sniff. And they go, yeah, wow, it is. So we don't think this podcast is very good. I don't know if we could say it's bad, but we do appreciate you giving it a sniff. So thanks for that. And send us your suggestions, comments, whatever, at TheAscertainers@gmail.com. Go over to Facebook if you want. We have some clips on there that are kind of the like best of type, like a little minute long or so, little snippets that are, we think it's funny. That's why we put them out there. So, but thanks, and check us out. See ya.
Bye.